here and here. And
it's working. It looks like it's kicking off, and I can see it right now. Blue screen with like a background.
Great. Let's go. Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Marcin Kukla, and I welcome to Do It Live Autonomy podcast, which for me is strongly triggering my complexity and triggering me to do new things. And I am learning, boy oh boy, looking what to do next here. We have a couple of people.
Share. You got it. Just end. There's a way to exit out of it.
I hit it.
You got it. You're live. You're good, man.
Everyone, welcome you. We have a couple of people here. Thank you, Richard, for empowering James, Brian, Thomas, Michael, and everyone who is out there listening, watching. I welcome you all. We are at the season 6 autonomy, week 5, which is great, exciting. A lot of things are going on, and we have great people in this season, and we have 30 days of November it is, yeah, the month in the English language, and 2021. The world looks like it looks out there. We here are now informed how to process information, how to critically think and look at information and see what kinds of informations and what kinds of media are better for us, better for our empowering, better for us understanding the world and not taking the different kind of media that want to help subjugate people into being compliant citizens of the world. And we here now in Autonomy, we are seeing this, we know that is going on, and with that we try to prepare ourselves with some knowledge, understanding, experience, and lots of different great things. So last week, looking into the Kajabi, which is our infrastructure that provides us direct access to the things that are to the goodies of this course. Maybe I could jump right into it and look what have we done till this point. Let's go with this. Do it live. So Discord, Kajabi, there was great things going on this week. This week I saw the new community rooms popped up. So we have now channels for exchanging information for UK and Europe, Australia, Canada, and Asia. So 4 new rooms, some activities in UK, EU, so connecting people and looking for each other, not only in States, where most of people are from, but also all around the world. There are also people from freedom cells and different kind of communities, freedom-minded people all over the world. And we can see that there is a variety of communities around there, and people are picking and choosing the right path for themselves and for their families and other people. We can see that people are moving into the place of rural environment, homesteading, doing those things that people would do before the crisis would came. Like it was before the Great Depression in States, people would build those gardens. They were called somehow specific, but yeah, people are feeling it into the inside, like there is a human intuition of some kind that would move them, and also, and maybe foremost, the information between the knowledgeable people and wise people who are sharing what they can see in the world when it is going. And here we have opportunity to meet a lot of people in interviews. We have second or third week of interviews right now. So I've been in a lot of interviews with many people. I've jumped into conversation with around 10 different people. We try to follow up from first week to the second week, try to hold ourselves accountable and set out objectives, practice active listening skills, practice problem solving, practice just talking with people, making connections, which is great, and overcoming obstacles. That is something that that is like a fruit out of those endeavors. And yeah, so I would like now to look a little bit into the interview segment. So there we have Richard, our great and one only navigator and friend, or on our trip, a teacher who is very precise, and there is I could spend all this hour only speaking out the words which I hear and think myself about Richard. So he's a great person. You should all see those kinds of people in the world who are really cherishing about others' well-being. So so that is what is emanating to this community from Richard to other people, and other people are also having this attitude of gratitude. Thanks for reminder of that. This is very important in life. And the next thing. So people enroll in the course and go with it and take the learning because that is beneficial. Week 1, it was orientation and baggage check. So we did that.
Hey, Marcin.
Yes.
We're seeing your Windows Explorer. Is that the window you wanted to share?
No, quite no. I wanted to see into the Kajabi, but yeah, it's hidden. That's good. So going out from this, I will stop this and start to maybe jumping.
You got it.
Into the.
You got it.
Yeah, I just want to say, Marcin, while you're working that out, I can't tell you, it's hard for me to express in words how impressed I am that you're not only doing it live, but you're doing it live in a language that's not native to you. And your grasp of English has gotten a lot more adept, and your selection of words right up till the end, you had a couple pauses there at the end, but when you were in your moment, you were freely expressing yourself in the English language. And that's something that very few people I know can do, speak fluently in a second language, let alone host a show and be in front of an audience and like do it live and work it out. You're doing really well. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. That's
The trials and tribulations and challenges of fatherhood is serving you well, and you're stepping up to the task.
That's also that I'm grateful for. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, that.
Learn English.
Pardon?
How did you learn English?
From movies mostly.
Awesome. I might have to give that a try.
Yeah, but being open on this, so there was a couple of things in my life that are a bit different than I hear people have experiences in United States. For example, going through the work of a little bit of work of Ultimate History with John Taylor Gatto. This was something that made me understanding that the kind of influence that the education system has on people and have still and are producing this this narrative and this thing made me sick, to be honest. Like when I realize how deep rooted it is, and how we really have this. We will see this in the future lecture, but there will be this speech about slave versus prisoner mentality, and if we can see that we can choose prisoner mentality, but anyways, we born here at this place, like either according to this analogy, and yeah, so autonomy in the whole, like would be for me, and learning those things, jumping from slave mentality to trying to and making that constant effort to improve into the prisoner mentality, which is like if you say to someone, yeah, you want to feel like prisoner, what it is, and but this is the distinction of between taking everything for granted, loving the golden handcuffs, in opposition to saying that the golden handcuffs are hurting us physically and things like this. So seeing recognizing how the reality is, and yeah, but that I flew away a bit. So that was about Gatto, the learning from Gatto, and how the education system and all this culture that is put in front of us through the generations of influencers of different kinds, and yeah, we would suck it up like a sponge because we were children. The fortunate people who had parents who got their rationality like in balance, in check, and they would provide them for that knowledge for their children, to not just take everything at the face value, but go deeper. And that is something that I did find in myself many those things. But anyway, next thing was week 3.
Hey, Marcin, if you don't mind, just a second. Could I ask you a couple questions? And I think these would be real important for for kind of keeping the audience with us is tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit about where you're coming from and how you came to autonomy, and then maybe what got you to decide to take on the job of hosting Do It Live.
Okay, that's great. That's we would do like interview exercise kind of, yeah. So
Yeah.
what brings me to the autonomy? The question is, so for me it was searching for deeper meaning and practicing things that would lead me to like heighten my senses. At the time, when I did have the enrollment called, it was more like of the first thing that would drove me into at that point was the sales skills, skill, but it was like one of the pieces. It in my life it went together. I am living in Poland. Maybe I will start from that. Born just a couple months before the Iron Curtain falls and free market economy flashed through our country, and many people were just like jumping into new things. So we bought everything. Like when there was televisions, computers, we would take it all in without, yeah, the new thing, new toys, and that made the new generation a little bit more skeptical to like they were influenced in the people. All generation was influenced by this new medium, and for me, I didn't ever get that idea that I should fight with some German guy or some Russian guy or something like this. Despite of the fact that people are saying here in Poland, there are those, oh, they are like this, like Jews are like this, blacks are like this, like the assumptions thing, and I never like dig that. And when I started speaking with different people, connecting when I was like 15, 17 years old through the internet, and I met people who were different language, but they were like me. So I never want to go with that idea. At the age of 15, I stumbled into different works of programming myself through NLP. I did heard about how in the later years, when I was like 18 adult, I stumbled on information how the financial system is based. The interest in different counter economics, not the mainstream, was for me I think. Yeah, I could talk for hours, but maybe that would be it. So taking the course to like take the part of my life when I was thinking that the new system is good, because I got this part when I jumped into the new agey kind of environment, and it was after I did a research on Buddhist and different religions, more like system of methods of delivering happiness to one's life according to the Buddhist teachings. And after this, the wave of New Age was overwhelming, and I did inherit after going into that culture. I was weak at the time, and I inherit different bad ideas. So now getting to the autonomy and having this method of realizing what is grammar, logic, and rhetoric, and trying to discover it in my life constantly at variety areas of life is something that is it is still, and it was something that was getting me into the autonomy here.
Thanks.
I
know you're a really talented guy, and you got a lot of great skills in the background, certainly in the hospitality industry, and restaurants and hotels, and then snowboarding. I know is something that you're very interested in. You've been an instructor, a snowboard instructor, and so you're definitely a outdoorsy, healthy kind of guy as well. I saw you mountain climbing just the other day. So you definitely got all that kind of stuff, but then being, an intellectual as well, you're definitely a well-rounded individual, certainly somebody that is someone to listen to and someone to learn a lot from, and we're certainly glad to have you as part of our community.
Thank you for your kind words. It's a lot. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, JL. I can see Jessica, I can see Ryan, James, Danny came to us also. Yeah, so maybe we could open a discussion. It's already started a little bit. I wanted maybe at start. Oh, there is Nick going. Great, because Nick is into the something hello, Nick. We welcome you, and I wanted to tell a little bit about Grant Heftward's radio, Liberty Radio. I did catch it a little bit, and I'm really glad. Like I was fortunate to see when the invention of idea, maybe, or going with the idea of this radio was going through the minds of two specific individuals who I recommend you to recommend, maybe not to recommend, but there is something that you can see. And the guys got this idea basically that there are many links and things going around the world right now, and there is a group of people constantly looking for information, trying to find the really important ones and sharing this into the Grand Theft World community Discord server. And the links are then picked, and there is a process of Grand Theft World. But anyways, there are many links, and only the portion, a fraction out of it is able to. There is not enough time to play it all in 7-hour podcast. So maybe 60-70% sometimes of the video and the material and links to and other dipping. There is a lot of work for someone who want to like really get the specifics and read the documents, but guys took that links that wasn't played, and they wanted to present that information into the follow-up. So like for me, it's like taking the torch, the Olympic fire, maybe not Olympic, but autonomy fire, and going it with it further and further. And this is something what was great. Did anyone have the chance to hear that podcast? Maybe open question. Anyone who wants to join?
Well, I'll say that James, it's James and Phoenix that are hosting the Liberty Radio for GTW, and you know, this is kind of the opening week for that. This past week was the first broadcast, and I didn't get to listen to a lot of it. I just got to listen to a little bit of the opening, and I think the first couple songs. But you know, I think it is certainly something that you know, us at Autonomy have been kind of looking forward for something along those lines for a while. And it's really, you know, like as we build our community, as we get people that are capable of doing those things and have the interest and energy to put into it to make it happen. I know I heard from James that you know, it was a lot more than he thought it was going to be, as far as responsibilities and you know, trials and tribulations that go into, you know, putting together something like that. But I'm certainly glad to see it happening, and I feel like it's just one more example, like you said, Marcin, of you know, kind of the torch being passed, and more things being lit, and people being made aware of things in different ways, in different genres, and with different methods. That is exciting.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Michael, for that input. Yes, taking guys when taking the skills that they are building in autonomy, the accountability part, the different, all the spectrum, maybe not all day, it's so overwhelming, the kind of the spectrum of things that we can do, and we have the limited part of time. So what they did, they took that limited amount of time that they have in their life, they invested in autonomy, they invested in looking into Grand Theft World podcast, then they made some interviews, chat with some people, learn themselves, and they triggered the complexity, and they went through it to spread the message of liberty. So that would be something that it is a little bit complex, maybe the 3 steps, but on the graduation lecture on the season 5, I asked Richard what is the biggest obstacle in providing the words of freedom out to the world, that this is hard work, and this is unfortunate that they need to be spread, but it is like this right now. And I think the work of those guys shows the answer, and also work of other people who are doing that. So yeah, I'm really grateful that I allow myself to be in that community here, and I'm really grateful that everyone who is listening to this, seeing that, also took his own time, her own time to listen to those podcasts, to those interviews, making all of this happen. I think if no one is have any questions or want to try to and jump in and say something.
Is there
Brian?
Is there a freedom community in Poland, or is it just Marcin?
It is. There is freedom community. I haven't looked for the specifics one, but there is this strong idea that lived in some people, that 30 years ago we had this strong system of surveillance. There were killing people. Yeah, there was no game. If someone would go out to the streets 1st, 2nd, 3rd time, and they would see him, there was people watching his house. The Black Volga. There was this.
What was it called?
I don't know the name of
What it means?
the Black Volga. Yeah, this is something that would mothers say to the kids, to the child. It was like, be afraid of the Black Volga, or be careful on the Black Volga, because the Volga car at that years was the car that only government people and like this agents, people can have from the Russia. Then they have this car, Volga. I don't know the English name for it. We call it that way, and the agents would have those cars. So if you would see this car black, especially all those cars were black. If you would see this car outside your house or block or building, you would know that there are sitting people over there watching someone. So it wasn't. And people were taken for interrogations, and there was some people who were out there speaking to the public killed. So it was like this, and yeah, so we know that like we have it deep in the roots. So now we are not all publicly having different discussions. Now you can see on the street who have the mask and who doesn't, and basically the people who doesn't have the masks, like we know that people with masks are wearing them because they are afraid. Either way, they will they are afraid because they will infect someone or be infected. And yeah, there is sometimes no opportunity for explanation, because there are, like right now, when there are no lockdowns, as to say, there is 60%, maybe 70, 80 sometimes, people without masks, and for example, people in shops who work there would have the mask under the nose, like the sign for I want to breathe, I need to wear this because my boss wants to me. It's like this, yeah. So people are going it to that extension that they will take mask under the nose. Yeah, so going with that, I wanted also to say that we haven't got in Poland ever in last 2 years emergency state. Only now we have this emergency state, military area, and military is taking control on the border with Belarus, where is going trafficking people from, I think, Middle East to England, to Germany, and this. But there was never for emergency state of COVID, because they knew they will have to, according to Polish law, they will have to pay fines. The government will have to pay fines for the people, basically, like for the we government decide to lock down the country. This is the emergency state, and then they would have to pay the entrepreneurs, the businesses, like kind of fine, like recompensate. They did anyway print a lot of money, but in courts, when people have illegal tickets from the police, in the court will, the higher court will dismiss the case, and people are like, there is no problem about this anyway. But there are different moves. So this is Poland, and yeah. Did that answer your question a little bit, Brian?
It did.
Right.
It sounds like an obstacle. Are you out on a farm?
No, I am in the mountain village, and this
Oh.
is yeah, it was touristic village. I'm in between two touristic hotels. Michael, thank you for saying this. Yes, so my parents are entrepreneurs themselves for last 40 years, and I did work with them for numerous of years, and I did lived like half of my life or more in different kinds of around hotels on different kinds of places. So I've been able to meet a lot of people, different ideas and things like this. And I did also try to have some entrepreneur idea. But yeah, this is a touristic place, lots of tourists right now.
Tourists?
Tourists, yeah.
Oh.
Polish. Yeah, basically what happened, inner country touristic went like skyrocketing. There were grants from the government for people. It was like Hitler did, giving the grants for vacation. You have many children, so you have the credit, cheap credit for your house and things like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did receive those informations. Didn't double check them. That's why I'm asking. But yeah, it's going on here. So the socialist country is going, but people going back to the tourist thing. The people are now like more confined into the boundaries of the country. There are some people who vaccinate themselves in order to cross the border. This is what I'm personally not willing to do, but anyway. But yeah, there is a spike of inside the country touristic, and people right now like trying to schedule the time for renovations and doing the construction parts in the business realm, like touristic realm, when there are tourists and accommodation thing, into the lockdown phase. So some people are waiting for lockdown to have the renovation. Crazy.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Going maybe to the Friday lecture. Friday night lecture, which is Saturday for me, really into the morning, and we have this. This was something that for me was most important. Like, if now I know what to do, and I can try this. I did try this. It is working. So that would be something also what we have in mind to discover. What's our beliefs? Did any had the chance to think about their beliefs and really think about beliefs and knowns, like what do we have? So the thing was to try to see and differentiate between those two. So what do I believe in and what do I know? And yeah, this is something that I know a couple of people decided to have to check on, and we strongly invite you to go into the room of AUTONOMY toasters maybe and try to jump in. And if you want to wallflower, do just that. If you want to participate, you are most welcome. So before Sunday Q&A, there is on Google Calendar or the calendar of AUTONOMY. I use the Google Calendar. Anyway, there is a Autonomy Toasters meeting, and there will be people. I know that already. How is it? Because they are accountable. You can count on them. That they have this idea to going there, and they are good in delivering every week. So then you can prepare your understanding of what do you believe in, and what are your knowns, and maybe known knowns and unknown knowns, which is the great concept. And for me, it's something that I will discover some more and learn more. Easy. And yeah, most important for me was after going from easy, which route am I taking? Easy way. When I do ignore and do things that I want to be more like not carrying and really painful at the end, and getting them to the square one. So very great lectures one more time, going it step by step, week by week. I did skip what was about week 3 and 4, so maybe I could go with to that, but not to jump here and there. I would like to read out something. Getting back to square one, prioritize your time. An example of that would be mainstream media upholds the status quo by purveying controversy, suggested change, and conflict. And yes, this is what they usually do. Today there was great clip from Grand Theft Auto, which conveys who is the sponsor of different media out there, and which is great. Pfizer everywhere. So Pfizer is telling us helping to paying for us to hear controversy, suggested changes, and about the conflicts. Moving beyond the square one, and this is most likely none of your goals in life are dependent on any of this content. That's true. It's good to know there. It's good to have it stored for showcase. It's not what you need to survive and thrive. That's also true. For me, it would be opposite. So avoiding that would be something to survive and thrive. What I need to do, what I need to survive and thrive. Moving beyond square one, some people have difficulty gaining momentum because they are too focused on themselves. Guilty. The solution: learn how to help others. Guilty. The feeling helping makes me feel happy, productive, and self-reliant. Guilty. The bonus: sometimes I need help too, and since I help so often, I don't feel guilty about indicating my needs. Hopefully. Yes, about every interview I have with people, there are those feelings: happy, productive, self-reliant, which is great. Moving beyond square one, a little bit further into the future, how long before I see results? Defining results. Results are then achieved step by step. The less time between action and result, the quicker you can stack results. So, yeah, taking failures quickly, quick failures, learning, and maybe not failing in the future because of all of those failures that we can practice into the dojos and Zoom calls. People like it. Very nice to have those. And we have the new exercise, which I have started with some guy. I will see. No, he's not here. The presenting idea that we are passionate about, and giving ourselves time to think about it and then to respond, which is something for the future week and weeks. And yeah, I think right now I will open the floor for people who want to say maybe about some autonomy activities that they been through this week. There was a clinic, copywriting clinic this week. Did anyone get a chance to been there, done this? I guess not copywriting clinic tonight.
I'll chime in a little bit, Marcin, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be calling out some folks. So prepare yourself, guys. But yeah, you covered a lot of ground there. So there's a lot of things going on this past week, and certainly a lot of good content. You know, these two lectures, the week 4 and week 5 lectures of the past week or so, you know, are some of the most important. And you know, this is my 5th go round through this stuff, and it's still loaded with material. Certainly some of the areas that you talked about that are you know, that are important, that, you know, people that go through their lives, there's so many things going on. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of you know, drama and garbage out there, distractions that you know, the powers that we know kind of put in our way to distract us from, you know, their particular interests and what they're trying to get done.
There is every excuse out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that is really not in our best interest. And the less that we pay attention to that, and the more that we pay attention to the things that are important to us, the more likely we are to you know, focus more on those kind of things. And these are 2 of the lectures that really kind of nail those things down. You know, really really well, you know. And I think there's just a myriad of examples that Richard puts out there. And you know, it's something that you can go back, like I said, this is my 5th go round, and you still see new things, because this is such a dense presentation with a whole bunch of information. I want to ask one of the other guys, you know, there was a couple different videos that was put out on this past lecture. Was there anyone in particular that really spoke to you?
So for me, yeah, there was this young entrepreneur, maybe not so young, the guy who I don't remember his last name. He was on the
impact theory guy.
He is doing those interviews, and he was describing his state of like going into the bird position, like on his floor when he suffers a lot. His mother, probably on his parents, cut the cord of money for him, so he was like left alone after his college, and going through this what he was describing like big anxiety and the shock, and he went into this self-studying mode, and work really hard, and he going into 2 years mode of work and putting out all of the distractions, not partying, not influencing his mind with substances, ideas on different things, just learning and being working on being focused on the work. Yes, that is to the extreme, but it shows that the commitment to your own goals, your ideas, and this is something that we are like digging from ourselves, doing during those interviews that we have, like the structure of asking questions in the particular way, and having them answered release kinds of energy that helped people. It helped me discover something, to take out something that they really had, but it is only possible when you have this other person questioning, and it's only then possible to get this, like to get this like rapid change, because you can do it yourselves, and that involves sitting, thinking, doing kind of meditation. For you, of those who don't know what the meditation is, because we didn't know what there is a word of meditation. Yeah, it came up with the media, different, and the word people. Hinduism have like 7, yoga have 7 kinds of meditations they describe. So there are different meditations, but meditate on the subject on your problem, solve it, take it on the parts. You can do it yourself, but with the community aspect, with the people holding you also accountable for the things that you will said you will do by the time you do it, hopefully. That is like week by week, when you schedule the next meeting and the next meeting, and you go there, you have already the connection with the people from the last week. If you're making notes, you remember, you can remember on paper what is about that we were discussing in last week, and bring into the future. So I got great conversations with the Nelson, with Tim, with you, Michael, with here are no more people which I'm discussing, but yeah, having those opportunities and different people having projects, and they sometimes want to have you on board on that project. And this is the community aspect for me, that the networking part of it, which is the many people did. I saw some questions, some comments written down, that the community aspect is the thing that wasn't like put into the offer before, hidden somehow, and this is great.
Hey, Thomas.
Yay, how's it going, Michael? Yeah, I have a couple of comments on some of the videos. 2 videos in particular that hit me, and they hit with the same theme, and that was Dan Locke and Tom Bayou, however that last name is pronounced. It was about drive. It was about the ambition, the actual drive, the motivation for moving forward with a particular goal. And I was thinking about doing it live, in a week or 2, and I mentioned to Joshua when I volunteered to do that, and he told me that, well, there's a lot more involved than I had realized, and I was thinking rather negatively about it. I wasn't thinking about a can-do attitude, and as I started ruminating about that, I realized, no, that's not a very good attitude to have. I mean, there's what are your reservations? So you might have some equipment issues, but you can work through them. It's just an obstacle. So, you know, I'm prepared to do that and move forward with that. So, but at any rate, it was the motivation, the drive. And although I haven't really formulated my vision for what I want to see in goals yet, it's still kind of early to really bring that picture together. Oh, and that reminds me, actually, in that point, is that there is a tool that might be useful to the autonomy community in terms of visioning, making a vision for your future. Once you got an idea of what you want to see happen, there's a tool called Mind Movies. And Mind Movies is an online website that you can create your own little short movie clip. You can put your own videos in it. You can put your own pictures, your own music, the whole 9 yards, and create basically a vision board type of thing in real time. And it's not a free program. That's one thing about it, but it's not ultra expensive. And I've actually purchased that program and used it before, and I find that to be quite useful once you have, you know, an outline and an idea, when you can kind of envision what your goals are. That's a way to actually kind of create a slideshow and a production that can help you. If you review that every day, I think that's one way to ingrain those ideas and that vision into things. So just thought I'd mention that.
Do you have already affiliate program with them?
Do I have a what?
Affiliate program. This is something that you could do.
Affiliate program. No, but they do offer that. I mean, that's something that is possible to do that. So that's a good suggestion too. Yeah.
Great.
How do you find that out when there's an affiliate link? How do you know that?
Because I was involved with another online course that the lady the entrepreneur that created that program actually has a program called the Ultimate Success Masterclass. And so I was a participant in that, and she gave the although I think I purchased the Mind Movies before I joined the Ultimate Success Masterclass, but she offered that as if you join the class, then you get the Mind Movies along with it as a freebie.
Thank you.
And how did you like this other course?
Well, it's kind of a fail. I mean, it's a partial fail, but part of it's because of my motivation. I got 3/4 of the way through. It was a 12-week program, and I got 3/4 of the way through it. And it's like this course. Natalie Ledwell is the one that created it, and she personally led every week what the material was. Now, some of it was pre-recorded, but she actually had a dial-in session where you can call in a telephone number and talk to her personally and ask any questions you want, and that happened every week. So it was a really good program. I really highly recommend it. There were some things that kind of bogged me down around week 8 that was difficult for me to get past, and then I had the Pyrobox ramping up, so I just disengaged from it and haven't gone back to it. So, but I consider that more my failure than the program's failure.
Thomas, how is your Pirate Box then?
The Pirate Box is on the table for the time being. It's not dead, but it's not my focus right now.
All right. So there was some discoveries that you had, or some obstacles that you passed through, and now it's on the rest. And what would be the best next thing that you would like to see after you pick it up from the table?
Well, I think what I'd like to do is, once I get past a certain phase in autonomy, I mean, I'm just waiting for it to feel right, for it to be the right time. But I would like to get a group of people together, some of which have already been involved with the Pirate Box in the past, to help me put it forth in Pork Fest when we promoted it there, and review what you know, because I've had no feedback, so I really need to get more feedback from the outside world. I sold a lot of SD cards with the Pirate Box software, but I've got, to date, nobody has really come forth and said, hey, I tried this and it didn't work, or most of the people that I've asked about it say that they haven't had a chance to use it yet. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, why that is, but the whole program kind of needs to be revisited and discussed with a broader number of people besides just myself, to get some marketing ideas, to get some use case ideas, and just discussion. I think a discussion would be very useful for me to gain some better feedback as to moving forward.
And this is the week 5 autonomy season 6, when we got today the special kind of PDF that is helping us. Let me check if it is on this place. The mastermind. And this is something that would bring clarity how those meetings should be conducted, and what is done right look like component out of it, and how you can leverage it in your life. So going through the mastermind material from PDF, it will be probably on the lecture
Yes.
video on the Kajabi.
Yes, I downloaded. I haven't had a chance. I actually downloaded it while we were doing the do it live here. So
Great.
look at that.
So it has all those things that can help you conduct the meeting, and the other thing probably would be having it scheduled on sometimes and putting it out there, maybe into some calendar. We have some calendar, and I know people sometimes have a chance to put their thing on the calendar that we shared here in Autonomy, with the lectures and Q&As, and in between sometimes things pop up. And having that said, I am opening my calendar to just glance through what was in last week's calendar and this week's calendar. So we had a couple of things that different people do, and the first thing that came up for me is Grand Theft World podcast. How has anybody been there, seen that, done this? I know one people would be.
Go for it, James. I want to hear from James.
Did I watch the Grand Theft?
Or have some connection to it?
I don't have a connection to it, but I thought it was amazing. The cognitive warfare documentation was something that I was looking at, and I actually skimmed through that, and it was terrifying. I haven't seen anything like that in any other media but Grand Theft World. That's it. It's a main source for information for things like that really you don't see anywhere else. Even on Alex, I haven't even seen it on Jones. I don't think I've seen it on Jones.
So what was so excited about this information? Can you rephrase it to share with the broader spectrum of people here?
Well, it's actually a documentation that was released by the government to change people's trust in their environment and their surrounding, and actually cognitively make changes in the populace, which is something that it works. Quite frankly, it works. I see it all around me, and I don't mean to be in a paranoid sense, but I see people just going along and repeating things that they hear that they really don't connect to outside sources or to a grander narrative, which is a real sort.
Any example?
I just watched, I think it was Tucker Carlson talk to somebody. I forgot who it was, but all they had to do was connect in that there's a great reset and that there's something beyond what they were actually talking about. It's too narrow. I think it was about the election, and they don't really connect into grander narratives like World Economic Forum, like those types of pressures that are on societies right now. And it's really frustrating to see that there's these three-letter agencies that are basically providing the narrative, and then we squabble down below with things like cognitive warfare, with trusting in our governments and things, that it seems like it's working among my friends and just among the people that I know. They don't really include that narrative, and then on shows
they don't really include the narrative either. It's kind of it's an odd thing. So Grand Theft World is the only thing that really gives that Grand Theft or that narrative now that I can really go to as a source.
So you would say that exemplary would be the word that can describe it?
I think Grand Theft World is, even with what it includes with Alex Jones and things like that, it's really the only really all-encompassing narrative that I can or source that I can look at to really get into the grander narrative of things.
Yeah.
In an evidentiary way.
I agree with what you said about this. That yeah, it have this also, like in free flow. There would be also Corbett, who was introducing me to Grand Theft World, and I saw Richard bringing me then to autonomy through Grand Theft World. Yeah, this is the level that is always not jumping into the conclusion, even if some people have sophisticated understanding of the things that there are going here in the world. There will stop at some person or some company or some nation or somewhat to blame on, and this is something that stops there, and the fear-mongering aspect is starting. So the people who are trying to provide people the information, they can see from their own understanding that there are bad things going, like really infringing freedom stuff going out there, and they are starting to investigate into why is that, but they are sometimes misled, sometimes nascent, sometimes ignoring different facts in order to get the paycheck. So Grand Theft World is taking this endeavor to investigate, like, into the purity of investigation, with the some aspects of judging but not blaming. That is my understanding of what is going on here. So yeah, very great podcast. If anyone wants to know a little bit more about current events and learn with understanding of facts from 150 years back into the history, you should really jump into the Grand Theft World podcast on Sunday evenings, American Central Time, somewhere there. In Europe, it's 3 a.m. Monday. All right. So Grand Theft World we had. Then there was project management tips and tricks, which I missed because I did have interview with scheduled interview with John, but maybe here someone was on the project management tips and tricks, and I know it was because Michael is running it. Michael, tell us something about what you did, what you have accomplished, what you discussed. Yes.
Yeah, you know, the idea behind the project management tips and tricks is really to you know, just simply, you know, compact a little bit of time. It's just a 15-minute kind of endeavor into really starting the week off with something that may be useful to you when it comes to you know, accomplishing the things that you're going to accomplish for this particular week. What we you know, what we typically cover is just a little bit of information that that can be useful, you know, as far as you know, making things happen. Project management kind of goes into a lot of different areas, but really it goes from everything from, you know, the vision that is the beginning of something, an idea, you know, a concept, a project, something that's real, tangible, or something that's, you know, maybe a little bit more subjective, like, you know, being able to, you know, express something, being able to do something that you weren't able to do before. But then taking it from that to kind of going through the motions of the different areas of, you know, really kind of analyzing what are the what is actually going on in the world today. What are the positives and negatives? What are the kind of the landscape of what's around us? Then what are the missions and objectives that we need to meet that vision? And then maybe it's and then we go beyond that with the goals and objectives, and then strategy and tactics. And so, you know, there's a lot of different areas when it comes to project management, but there's a lot of little bitty things that can be really helpful to getting those things done. And so I hit it for just 15 minutes. We try and, you know, go through something that's relatively simple. And then actually this coming Monday, we're going to be doing, after the project management tips and tricks, we're going to be starting something new for apprentices and work trade people. That's just kind of an open office. So people that either are doing apprenticeship, wanting to do apprenticeship, are doing work trade, or even freelance people. If there's things that they want to discuss or get to know, or questions that they have, or concerns that they may have, it's really an open time to discuss those things. And you know, I'm there to help make sure that all that stuff gets done.
Great. Two things come to mind. I've been once on tips and tricks, and really in 15 minutes we were able to hear out speakers. There was this structure that we jump into the 15 minutes, and basically after 15 minutes we've done. So it was about the question was the ways to and like make a comment to the person who are working under you, as to say, like you are in charge of their time because you are the manager. And TJ came in and he was really specific about this. It was great input from him, and I was able to speak, and this is something new for me either, that I was able to speak publicly. And it was about comments for the people who are working for you. So how do you say to them that they basically did something bad, like not useful to the company, and how to and when to say to the people that you are very happy about what they do, and to like make a suggestion that this is something that the road should look like, and what should be the proportions, and not to the tip and trick was for me to have that in mind, that people are receptive for compliments, for comments, for critical feedback, something which I would describe as, okay, we are in the dojo kind of space here, we will try to be, don't get angry at me, but you did this, you did that, you did here this, and the rising excellence would be this and that, and the best way would be to showcase that by ourselves. So gave the example. Yes, great tips and tricks, discussions, and the place for having people like open office. It's something great, having people to discover the Zoom a little bit more. And because I know the meetings that you provide are usually on the Zoom calls. You have yes. You have this this way of doing it, and in fact sometimes on the old computer, I have old computer, very old, which Discord sometimes it's stopping for me when I use video. It might be on the bandwidth or the kind of new software that is not good, it's very heavy for my 12-year-old laptop. Anyway,
I think that's kind of one of the things when it comes to technology. They're always kind of advancing the requirements for the new computers, and I think that's also kind of some of the things that, you know, why we've got all these multinationals kind of working together, is they're always trying to help each other kind of drive business. So things like Zoom.
Okay for you. Yeah, and you having those people meet together and be able to kind of sometimes chit chat, but be focused on some topic. When you are hosting, you are always having like kind of, I don't want to say control, but the control of the conversation. You have your objectives. You know where you want to go. You know how to derive value from people, that to empower them to speak freely. So very great.
Well, I just say, you know, if
testimonial from Michael.
if anybody's got any particular projects that they're doing or are, you know, planning to do, and they need more help on it, or they just want to kind of ask questions about, or, you know, like see if they can get more help on a particular thing, or they're struggling with a particular area, those are all things that, you know, I'd be happy to address and help out. You know, that's kind of the project management tips and tricks is 15 minutes, but that other hour after is really that time that we discuss projects that are ongoing, that are within autonomy, that, you know, that could be of interest to other people. And certainly, you know, one of the things that I'm doing is talking to a lot of people in autonomy and kind of trying to get a better grasp of all the talents that we have that are available, and try and make the connections, you know, between the needs of what, you know, what is out there, what projects are out there, what things that you guys are trying to do, and the resources that we have, you know. So putting those two together is kind of magic.
You hit Michael when you are looking for some people. Hey, Michael, I have problem with this. What I can do? And Michael will say, you need to find some people. Here for you is this man. Just look him out and da da da. Yeah, you should.
Well, I mean, we've got an amazing group, and every day that I talk to somebody new, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to introduce you to so and so, you know, because that's, you know, exactly. That can be very helpful. You know, those are the things, like, you know, a lot of times, a lot of the things that we get stuck on, it's like something we don't know very well. But when you got somebody that's an expert in that thing, and they're helping you with that thing that you're having a hard time with, you know, it's like freedom. It's like getting let out of a cage, you know, and those are the hurdles that we can overcome in autonomy with the community that we have.
So you have people who are struggling with some answer. There are beginners trying to find their way. You have the professionals who are having, for them the job is easy, but the difficult part is to transferring that knowledge. And this is the part when you step in, like you help to make the connection between the people, and maybe providing the kind of infrastructure that will help them exchange the information in order to have the to expedite their growth. Expedite word is my favorite in this year.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Michael, very much.
Glad you like that, James.
The sewing circle was next, which I have in calendar for autonomy. I haven't been there. The next in the official calendar would be Spiritual Revolution podcast. I didn't been there. True Care Support next. Then we would still maybe this is the place for people who want to jump in, maybe if they were on those events, the sewing circle for meeting for women. I think we don't have too many women, beautiful women here, but I can see that. Yeah, anyway, who was maybe on True Care Support, which is, maybe I'll try to explain the sewing circle. I don't know what is going there, and I don't really want to know. Spiritual revolution, I did once stumble on it in the middle of the night when I was not able to speaking with a colleague that was jumping. Ryan, oh, thank you.
There's Ryan.
Ryan was on the Spiritual Revolution podcast, and we had great conversation, which were discussing about your meditations maybe before the lectures, to prepare the mind for taking this time for concentrating and having time for doing Autonomy Friday night lecture. How is going with that? Or Spiritual Revolution? Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, just a second. I got to get this phone thing.
All right. So in the meantime, waiting for Ryan, True Care Support Network. I know this is something for people who want to overcome their own trauma, but getting back to the.
Well, I'll say something. That's Chris Jansen's kind of new project. I think he's 2 weeks into that. Also, and you know, it's really, I mean, it's really an examination of, you know, he kind of opens it up to, you know, a lot of different things. He's got a particular, you know, usually he's got a kind of a particular theme for the particular evening that he's talking about, but it is really a demonstration of you know, great listening skills. Chris is an excellent listener, and he's really an empathetic listener. And as far as, you know, seeing excellence when it comes to listening skills, Chris is a great demonstration of that. And it's just another resource that we have within our community. And certainly if you're, you know, if you're feeling stressed, if you're having trouble with relationships or, you know, anything that may make you anxious, Chris is a great resource, and that Tuesday night spot is the place to go if you're interested in kind of examining that further.
Yeah, not excuse there. It's 4 a.m. my time, so I will be ready.
Maybe difficult for those of you in Europe, of course.
Yeah, it's better than 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. So 4 a.m. it's you can get quite good sleep if you go early before night. Great. That is something that I will put personally into my calendar. I was sold on that one, and try to be there and participate and see what I can get from the man who say that he got his own problems. He was on one Q&A, he was proposed with solutions. There was some digging from Richard done to make Chris develop his idea, what he can do next, what are his strong suits. And I saw that he graduated by doing the graduation interview. So good for him that he's going this route, and we will see what is his progress. Great. Spiritual Revolution podcast. Back to you, Ryan. What do you have for us? Do you have anything? Ryan, are you there? You are unmuted. Okay, so maybe he's still talking, having the conversation on his phone. Next, and going back to Michael, leadership ethics.
Sorry, I am back.
All right, Ryan, jump in if you want to say, and you are already in. So tell us something about what do you do here in Autonomy? How do you feel so far?
What I've been trying to do is doing a bunch of practice with the energy transmissions that I've been doing, which, as far as people have been telling me, have been pretty successful. There's certainly been a couple of people who've really felt nothing, but if there's any consistent thing that I tend to get as feedback, it's that what I'm picking up on intuitively or sensing, or however you want to put it, appears to be quite accurate. To the point where one guy had to actually emailed me after the fact because he thought that one of my things that I picked up on was inaccurate, and then he found out that it wasn't. And so he emailed me. He's like, "No, actually, you're right." It was really cool. That person was not in Autonomy. I don't know if that gives any explanation of anything, but sorry, I was off doing laundry stuff and wasn't able to hear everything.
What Ryan is doing is having really strong understanding of what are his doings in this energy transfer, and that I saw that would be my feedback for you, Ryan, that you would have courage to like not care what I think. You will just express the best in your best way my own position. Then I could ignore or take upon and learn from it. So great input and like feedback that you gave me last week before night lecture. It was something very strong for me, and I did check in my translator what the word bullshit means, because I knew that is something that is not too good. It's not good to throw away as a person. So that gives kudos for you. I need to also check that one, but I know the meaning. But kudos for you, Ryan. And can you maybe elaborate a little bit about those energy transfers that you are making? What are you doing over there? What is the process, methodology, as you say?
In my case, my guess of what the energy itself actually is would probably fit a modality similar to something like chi or chakra. That gets into a whole other discussion of various experimental stuff I've tried to do with that. But essentially what I am trying to do is take this energy and connect it to another person. Use that to see if I can read anything that's happening with them. This could be mentally, emotionally, physically.
So you would take your own energy chakra and then you would take a transfer, or you have some developed kind of servitor way thing that you derive from energy. Where is that energy? Because the chakra things would be the reference for like energy points in your life, or the manifestations of different things going based on the value of vibration of the frequency that you are in. So you have different organs in your body and they have all the different vibration state, like the frequency that they operate in, and that also correlates to those chakra points, which is 7 the basics, and I think 142 specifics and 2 outside of your body. So you would take from your own development of chakras and try to like visually put it to someone else being, or it's like, what's your offer over there?
Similar, like, yeah, like it's similar, I would suppose. I mean, my specific method is that I try to draw in this energy from the environment, process it in my body so it's mine, quote unquote, and then use my own from that to do everything, just because it seems to allow much better precision than just sort of channeling it directly. One thing I should really make sure I preface this with is that a lot of the effects that I'm talking about actually have been or are in the process of being studied largely in the field of parapsychology. There's especially been some interesting work with a guy named Alain Forget, written as Forget because he's French. and some of the interesting visual things he's been able to do. And the very, 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 very short version of what is known about various psionic effects is that they clearly don't conform to electromagnetism because they do not drop off at distance, which is what seems to allow people to do things at enormous distances like this. That can be physical healing effects, like which have been studied by William Bankston and whatnot in his studies on mice with cancer, stuff like that. So, but the short version is that, yeah, like nobody really knows how any of it works mechanically. All they know is you can demonstrate a lot of it in the lab, and sort of the race is on to figure out, like, you know, who can describe a mechanical theory of it. So I bring that up just because nothing that I do is spiritual, as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely nothing. None of it requires belief. None of it requires faith. In fact, most of the research on any of this stuff tends to go against certainly against dogma in terms of established religions. But, you know, none of it's spiritual. I just kind of want to make sure I put that on the table, that, you know, I'm not trying to pitch a dogma. I'm trying to do this as experimental practice to figure out what patterns there are. So as best as I can tell, what is happening is I'm basically taking my energy, like I was saying, and sending it to another person, and I'm sort of feeling my own energy and how it's interacting with them, which gives me a pretty decent amount of detail, or so it seems so far, on things that are happening with them. And then I can also manipulate my own energy to interact with them, which can induce either like emotional effects, mental clearing stuff, some physical healing stuff that has happened. I have mainly only ever done the physical healing stuff in a group setting. I've not really had someone, I don't have any confirmed success with that on my own yet. So that's sort of mainly what I do. And I'm trying to make that as solid as I possibly can, because I want to take that and turn back around and use it for the more psychokinetic work I was trying to do, and get that to a point where it's plainly demonstratable and thus teachable. That's really the point of what I'm doing this for.
All right, so what I'm getting is this, that you are discovering the science of transferring energy, like which is in the way of experiments and way of putting the understanding together by conducting experiments in today's medical system. Like, it is who is operating those experiments. That might be interesting, like to digging deeper. What are the roots of it? But what you are explaining, for me, it's looking like you can have either like black or white magic. You either would take the energy, because the thing that you would describe, there is this Buddhist meditation that you will find under the word compassionate heart meditation. So compassionate heart meditation, and this is kind of taking this energy and filtering it and putting out together to maybe direct to some people or all around the cosmos, that you will bring the energy that is kind of not useful for people, cleansing it somehow and putting the compassionate heart that will take everywhere. That is the Buddhist meditation. And this is the example when you are using it as a white magic. There was this what you do, it's also can be found under the white magic from the people who doesn't have like scientific background, and they are just doing it. And there is like parallel natural healing people over there. There are some new age crabs that sometimes try to sneak in and influence people who are going there, I can see that there is this like inner circle of healers out there, but they built around, someone built around this new age things that yeah, if you want to go to natural healing, you will stumble on this idea that this is my theorizing about conspiracy, that yeah, people are putting those different things for us to jump in order to waste our time in something that seems to be meaningful, but in fact is deception to drove us into those labyrinths without an exit. Like there was this Q old thing, the QAnon. This is my opinion. Maybe there are some facts that prove me wrong on this, but I think the Q was, I can see that I went into their structure for 3 days and really tried to understand what's going on there. So when they wanted someone to translate for Polish language, the Q drops, I would do that. And all they was chasing their own tail and looking for the things that weren't there. So for me, it looked like a psyop. So this is something that we need to be careful in any specific subject that are really the subject that someone is taking benefits out of hiding that subject from the people. And white magic could be also that. I don't know. Have you, Ryan, maybe looked into the white magic search on interweb?
Not really, because from my perspective, it's completely incorrect to split it all up as white or black or any of that stuff. At the end of the day, it's all ultimately the same. It's a tool. It's like you can use a knife to chop a carrot. You can also use it to slit someone's throat. The knife doesn't change. It's just how you're using it.
So basically,
I just tend to.
And basically what I can see, you step it further into the understanding that you are getting rid of this not binary, but there is this Danny James came up somewhere here, this this distinction between this and that. There are some words about it, so you can send your energy, and that is making the change with the people anyways. Yeah, so if it will manifest as dark for them or white for them, it doesn't really care, because you are giving them kind of momentum. Am I correct? Or what's your idea in the end?
Well, no, I'm purposely trying to help whoever it is I'm doing the transmission for. I am not in any way intentionally trying to do anything harmful, and it's debatable whether I could in the first place, especially at the point I'm at now. I mean, that would get into a bunch of complicated things of like, it can be blocked and all that other stuff. So whether or not I'm even capable of that at this point, I would actually kind of doubt. But no, like I'm not just necessarily handing them stuff and being like, okay, it'll do something, who knows what. I am trying to tinge it at least a little bit, so that it is purposely helpful. Usually one of my standard things is to have it try to clear them out emotionally. And my guess of the mechanic of how that works is that the energy seems to respond to your own emotions, especially it responds to your subconscious. That appears to be the engine of it. And so if you color it, as I like to call it, with whatever emotion you want, whatever effect sort of that you're trying to get, and then someone else, then that interacts with another person's energy, then what I think is happening, or what it seems like it feels like is happening, is that it's sort of their own energy will react to that, and that's sort of partially how the clearing happens. Since the emotion, the energy are connected, then if their energy changes, their emotion is affected as well. That's my guess. I don't really know, but that's sort of one of the working models I'm working off of.
Great.
So it's not just quite as simple as charging them up and sending them on their way all the time, at the very least.
Have you started? It sounds like you take the path of the Jedi, not the Sith, in this case. So for me, it would be white magic in showcase. There was this study. I heard about it from my friend. He's like the person who would believe in the information that he's providing, about a group of people that were teaching themselves how to basically send energy to other people, and they took a bunch of documents from mental hospital, and they tried to send this healing energy to, and at the time they did that, the people who were running the place, the nurses and staff, discovered that the radical change in behavior. But I will leave that with this. Maybe there will be some digging, maybe someone have some information about this, or if it's needed, I can reach to that man and wait for response. Who told me maybe the digging will be full there. I probably should do that. Thank you, Ryan, for your input. Have you got anything to say about the Spiritual Revolution podcast?
Yes, this Tuesday, Agnieszka is away, and thus I have become sort of the unofficial host of it for this week.
Yay,
and so
you
I'm
have
going to
a
be trying to
chance
do
meet Ryan and be there.
Yeah, and I'm going to be I'm going to attempt to do like group transmissions for people, like I've kind of done a few other times before, for people who've showed up. And I'm going to try to work on basically like teaching people, like, here's how you get started with doing this stuff yourself. Here's like the basics of the basics of what to do, and give them some sort of practical advice on that, at least to the best of my ability. And I may or may not also, if that goes well, try to do a sort of guided passive visualization meditation, which is supremely useful in many areas of life. It was the thing I was trying to do for the one pre-lecture meditation that I did. And yeah, it's something that is useful in everything from just self-defense to, you know, working on your own, what's called your own internal sort of emotional issues. So, you know, it depends how you apply it, is all that really changes. So that's what's going to be happening this Tuesday.
Great, great. Have you considered the recording of those the guided meditation that you can have? There is a man in Autonomy that have this offer outside into the market, and he's having clients for this, and he wanted to have this this self-talking, how they call it, I'm lacking the word in English, affirmations, but in fact he was surprised that the guided meditation that he provided for people was better off as a product than his affirmation videos. He is somewhere there. I don't forget. I'm not good with remembering the names of people. I'm more like a face guy, and but if you would like, I know there is. You will be able to find him. Reach out to me or to other people, and or they will reach out to you. I think if you would like to have interview,
it would probably be beneficial.
For
probably beneficial to try to record, to try to record one of these one time, but I would have to make sure I structured it properly so that it was like very
so yeah,
clean.
you can.
And I have not done that yet.
Interview this this person. Is I don't really who maybe tried. It was last season. I can check it up for you, Ryan.
I believe it's Eric, and his last name begins with
Eric.
a Z.
Yeah. So Eric Z.
Eric Zimmerman.
Yes, exactly.
Zimmerer.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure I've interviewed him before, so I will have to check on that.
Yeah, now you know what question could be asked. And last question for you, Ryan. Have you started to take testimonials for your energy transfer thing?
A little bit.
Great.
It seems like a couple people have been willing to do that.
Are you recording those?
Oh no, they're just like writing them.
Okay, that's something. Great. So thank you for your input about this. So we had some, we've been through this last week briefly. We discussed different topics. It was a bit of advertisement for different things that will be in the past. So the next thing would be Sunday Q&A, and no, pardon me, there will be Autonomy toasters, and this is something that you can bring your ideas of what you are believing in and what your knowns, what you know and what you are believing in. And then we will have Autonomy Sunday Q&A.
Shit, what was that?
Danny Lily.
Hello?
Welcome. I am now opening with you here, Danny. We welcome you. It's
Hi, how's it going?
Time for discussion. Yes, we are in almost end of the second hour of Do It Light podcast. And now we are opening the floor for any subject. If someone wants to say anything, ask some question, make some contribution, make some advertisement, make some comment, ask some question, anything you like. I'm repeating.
Okay. Oh no, just it's been an interesting week, and so really enjoyed Friday's lecture. It really hit home for me in a couple of ways. Just a reminder of you mentioned a while ago what was the best video that was during the lecture, and I really enjoyed the first one where they talked about the 20 hours.
Yeah.
And so one of my backgrounds is in real estate. So I didn't take 28,000 hours of real estate to become proficient in it. I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, but proficient enough to do some things. And so this week I really leaned on that experience, even though I haven't done much in terms of real estate in the last 4 or 5 years. So that included researching properties, that included going to the city offices to do some research in terms of zoning and future use. And so it was just great to have a conversation with zoning and planning, and I didn't feel out of place. I felt like kind of like riding a bike. Just, hey, these are people I haven't talked to in so many years, and just to have that conversation and present a property that I was interested in and ask some questions, and it triggered a lot of complexity. But the feedback I got from planning and zoning was very positive, because for some reason a lot of people go into those offices very aggressive. They sound like know-it-alls. They want to tell everybody what to do and whatnot. And I just had some basic questions, and they were very receptive to what I was doing and very supportive. And so the bottom line is, just in the course of a conversation, the property I'm looking to acquire, I'm allowed to repurpose it to have a rooftop garden on it. So they said, no, get us a set of plans, and there's not a reason we would challenge that. Most people won't do that ahead of time. So it was good to see, I was just asking a question, and then add some other questions for it. And then probably the most important.
Can I ask, because I didn't get the idea. So you wanted to have the green roof on the existing roof, and they agreed or disagreed, or said
they agreed to that.
Great.
Oh yeah. And so a lot of times it's a lot of people don't believe that you can have a rooftop garden on an existing structure. Now there's some criteria for that. One, is the roof flat or can you make it that way? Another thing would be, can it handle the weight load of a garden? And the answer is depending on how you structure that. And so if you're using a lot of dirt, that adds weight. If you're using a lot of water, that adds weight, plus the people walking around on it. So the reality of it is, with aquaponics, I can calculate how much water would actually be on that rooftop at any given time. The fish tanks I won't put on the roof because that'd be a concentrated amount of gallonage and weight in one space. So I can keep that off the roof, and that can be pumped onto the rooftop. That's not going to be a problem. And so weight distribution is the key to it. And then the most important thing, because you're doing a greenhouse, you're not using the same amount of weight and density in building materials. It's just the framing, which that can be quantified in a number of ways. So, but then the rest of it is I'm using plexiglass basically. So you're not going to have the same weight as drywall or insulation or anything like that. So most structures will support a rooftop greenhouse in most cases. There would just be it'd have to be something structural to not support it.
Great, understand. If you would like to have some book reading with me from I have books, one book specifically, it's about weight and the construction and how to count how much weight on the square meter you can have, having those kinds of heights and lengths of the support and things like this. So if you have,
it's great information. Yeah. And so a lot of times just in just analyzing a property, it's just good to know some basic understanding of what kind of weight are you putting on the roof, and what's the rest of the structure. Is the framing all wood? Is it metal? And so this is a commercial building with a lot of concrete and a lot of steel girders. And so it's going to handle that kind of weight. Usually if it's a house structure, because I get that question, can I just put a greenhouse on the roof of the house? I would say typically no, only because of the wood framing. And then, also what kind of weight in the garden are you going to put on top of your house? And so what I'm a proponent of is building onto the one of the sides of the house and actually have an attached greenhouse to your house, which is either not the north end, but the south end of the house, which you're going to have most of your light and heat exposure, or on the west side of the house. And so it's just something you add on. I'll put a picture of it on the Discord of what that would look like. Yeah, I sent one to Michael, and I said smile. No, but that's something that I'm looking to do. There's a separate project in Taos that there's 4 houses on it's almost 1 acre, and we're going to do those kind of additions onto the houses there. So as I'm going into more of a real estate oriented version of what I'm doing, I want to create the property or the opportunity first, and then operations will come after that.
Great, excellent. You are working. You are in your car right now.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Are you driving?
Oh, and I just parked at the side of the road, so I'm not driving.
Yeah, I can see the car moving behind you. That's why. Thank you for your input, Danny. Have you got any questions? Is there anything that I can provide, maybe not only to Danny, but to anyone here gathered?
Not at the moment. You've done a great job hosting this week. And so,
Thank you for your
oh yeah,
appreciation.
and so, and thank you for promoting the other shows that are going on and the other podcasts that are taking place. I know a lot of the students have really branched out into various aspects to take those skills and translate that into what they're passionate about. So
yeah, what I can do, I can only take that information that is good for you who are listening it and wanting to derive some value, to have some information, and this is possible having this podcast. So
yeah.
take your time to everyone to being on live lectures, live participation, if you can, only if you can. This is my opinion, only opinion. You don't need to base on that, but participating into the live events, live lectures, it's something else than doing it on replay. Anyway, thank you anyone for being here, doing that. I will now just play the outgo video. We are entering into the final minutes of second hour of our podcast. I know there is much to say. I will let my family who is sleeping just behind this curtain to sleep and try to jump onto other device in different room, maybe into the dojo. So I welcome you everyone to practice into the dojos and with me maybe today, if I will be able to have my phone ready. And thank you for dropping in and staying and being here. Have a great rest of your day. Take some use of it, plant some seeds, put some water, give some fresh air and sun, and take the fruits. Thank you, everyone. Have a great time.
All righty.
Ciao.
Have a great weekend.
And bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Marcin.